Well, hello and welcome back to another episode of Three Crones and the Woo Woo. I am one of your crones, the word wizard, if you will, Gayle Nicholson with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting, who can barely speak this morning. To my side, I have Krista Ducharme, your crystal crone with Dimensional Healing with Krista, that can be found on Facebook. Wow, what is the stutter going on today?
Maybe the still Mercury, right?
Yeah, there you go. It's like stopping and starting here.
It's all good.
And then supporting us, as always, from down there under, Damaris Samolinski with Dimension. No, it's not Dimensional Healing. It's Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski. Okay, this is why people hate doing live television.
But that's why we're not television, we're a podcast.
That's right.
We can laugh at ourselves and be okay with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we will just forge right ahead. Wow, this has been a really, really interesting and powerful week. A lot of movement up there in the planets. We're all direct again for the next 3 months. Yay. A little bit of forward movement instead, an outside focus instead of inside focus. We're rocking it.
Wonderful.
And Valentine's Day this week, or Lupercalia, depending on what you, I kind of like the idea of Lupercalia because I'm single this year. Just pick my name out of the hat and send me home with a guy. I'm good. So how was your week, Damaris?
It was great. It was really cold here. We had snow again. So I've been indoors a lot because it's been really cold. This morning was really cold. But you know what? Since COVID, I don't mind being home. I used to mind before, but I'm like used to it now, So yeah. My daughter came down for the weekend, so she was here. So we were having like family time, if you will. So it was good.
Nice.
That's wonderful. I love that. Yeah, it's hard. I'm kind of enjoying not having the kids home. Sorry, kids. Love you all. Keep being you. Keep doing marvelous things, okay?
Nice. Yeah. She's walking around naked. She's walking around naked.
Actually, I never understood the fine art of walking around naked until recently. I'll tell you. And have you ever done naked yoga? I'll tell you what, it definitely gives those stretches a new direction.
Yeah. My brain is just rifling with some stuff that's just too gross for me to say even. All righty. So how was your week, Krista?
Actually, it's been really good. It's been busy. We're still, I think we are mastering the whole jet lag. I want to say we're well over the hump and probably now just getting back into our rhythm. Our circadian rhythm of sleep, which is lovely. And we're also, we've been working on the third floor. As you can tell, my view behind me has changed. I'm in a totally different room than I was. And I keep looking to the one side and then looking back because I have a new camera.
Is that going to be your office now, that room?
Yes. And we have beds in here. So there's one bed for guests. And then the other bed you can't see, it's over here to the side. But since we're not really, having tons of people at the moment, we're ready should it happen. But since Genevieve's at school, we have her room permanently ready right now. And then, so Kevin's like, this room's bigger. Why don't we set you up in here? So we've been moving things around, which is just shifting energy. Okay, guys.
Which is good.
You want an awesome energy shift? Move your stuff around. There's people and we all have them, right? And actually my husband can be one of them too at times, as annoying as it can be. I understand it's like really awesome. Those furniture moving people, they're constantly rearranging, right? Yeah, that is awesome.
You know, you can use
everybody
a fan too. If you can't move the furniture, you could use a fan to move the energy.
Yeah, move the energy, move the air, move. Just get things shifting, get things going. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It's been really refreshing.
I used to be a big furniture mover when I was younger. And I read something how when you move your furniture quite often, it's because you're a frustrated traveler.
Oh.
You need a change of scenery. And if you're home, you're looking at furniture all day. And
talk about change. We're going to go
that. We're quite the traveling group right here.
We're traveling all the time within the house and outside of the house.
Yeah. Awesome stuff.
No, that makes I've never heard that one. But yeah, when we were younger, it's just a case of trying. And then of course, every time you move into a house or move into an apartment or move somewhere different, it seems like you spend the first 6 months to a year regardless moving everything around till you get it where it's like, oh yeah, that feels comfortable.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to take a couple of moments here and do a little bit of an unboxing because Damaris did one of her amazing healing oils, and I got it. And so we're gonna open this bad boy up, and Damaris is gonna tell us all about it. While I try not to slice my wrist here.
So you're gonna find a lot of shredded paper in there. I just put it in there so
as long as it's not a glitter bomb.
So there's shredded paper in there. Just to let you know. Do you have a sweater?
I do, and I promise you, I was hair free before I got.
So be careful you don't get it on your sweater. But that blend is a blend that is from head to toe. I used to sell it when I had my store before COVID. I used to sell it to estheticians, and I used to sell it to people that had hair salons because it's good for both. Has a lot of vitamins and nutrients in there. There's about 6 essential oils, doTERRA essential oils, that are good again for their skin and for the skin and for their the hair. So it helps people.
So cool.
Yeah.
It's got a little card in it that tells you what's in it and a bunch of stuff about it. What's this beautiful little sticker here?
It's a heart chakra healing and I use different symbols. Different people have different things. That one is for the heart.
Nice. I could definitely use that lately.
I want you to smell it.
Okay. See, it's wrapped really nice. And yes, there's a lot of little confetti, little shredded tax documents, whatever.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. I'm like, wait a minute. I could use this shredded paper.
Yeah. Way to recycle.
Right?
Oh, and look at the beautiful.
I did. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, I love that sticker.
So that's my soul portrait. And when I did my soul portrait, I asked the lady that did my soul portrait if I could use it as a logo. And she actually created a logo for me with my soul portrait. So
that's
my logo.
Oh my God, this smells so good.
Doesn't it smell delicious?
Oh yes. Can I anoint candles with this?
You can, absolutely.
I'm gonna use it on my hands right now, but
and it'll penetrate. It will get absorbed.
I'm so jelly. I'm jelly. I need to get some of that over here. Except you have to wrap it a little bit, one added layer to come to me.
Well, I think it's wrapped pretty well, but definitely because those across the Atlantic shippers can toss things like this.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is fabulous. So tell me again how to use it exactly. All right. So I can put it on my hair. I can put it on my skin.
Yep. So I would put it on your hair like 30 minutes before you go to wash it. You just put like a quarter size on the palm of your hands, and you just go through your hair like this with it. and then let it sit for a half an hour, and then go wash your hair. At times, you can also, if let's say people have thinning hair, they can sleep with it overnight.
Okay.
And then wash it out in the morning. Yeah.
Now, should I focus on the ends, the roots, all the way through?
All the way through, from head, from the root to the ends. It also helps with split ends also.
Oh, fabulous, because I got tons of those.
Yes. And it helps your hair look really healthy, and it helps your hair grow. For your skin, if you have very dry skin or eczema or any skin imperfections, you can, use it, but you have to use it regularly. Because if you're not consistent, you're not going to see the results as quickly.
Okay.
Yes.
So Tanya Pesci wants to know where hers is. Allison Baker's jealous. Ada's tried this before, I do believe.
Yes,
she said love the blend.
Actually, she just picked up a bottle this weekend.
Oh, good.
But yeah, she likes the smell of it too. It smells really good.
It does.
But men can use it as an aftershave as well, because they could use it on their face after they shave. Yeah.
And it's not greasy. Like, I've got this Avon stuff that it's really good for winter, but it's like I can't even use a pen afterwards. My fingers are just sliding down the shaft of the pen. Oh, this is wonderful stuff. Thank you so much for sending it, and for the heart chakra sticker, because my heart's needing a lot of work this week.
Got it rough too. Mercury retrograde was tough on you this time too.
Yeah, it was. And I'll get into it a little bit further when I do my segment of the show. But I was out and about delivering DoorDash to all of the people who weren't out in the romantic restaurants last night, and did some processing work for the community I wasn't expecting. So
I want to hear about it.
Isn't it exciting when that happens?
Yes,
when
it is.
It's kind of like,
yeah. And here I am, before I realized what was happening, going, I thought I felt with all of this. And then afterwards, I was like, oh, okay. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
The good thing is that you recognized it. Some people don't get it.
Yeah. And I gotta say, looking back, there's been many, many times in the past that, not necessarily just for Valentine's Day, but that I've done that and not realized it and thought that it was all mine. And it's like, I'm not that crazy, right?
No.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Close, not quite that crazy. Anyways, all right, so let's begin this week's
yikes
stuff.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Hold on 1 second, Damaris. I'm getting there.
I'm very excited.
All righty, here we go.
All right. So, again, there's a lot going on, but I have to choose, what I'm going to talk about. So I decided to talk about the sun in Aquarius is in opposition to the full moon in Leo. So what does that mean necessarily, right? So Aquarius is all about unity. It's all about groups. It's all about, dreams and our hopes for the future. It's all about the future. It's really ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is a planet that is of the future. So it brings new things, new technology, new things from the future. It's not even a planet from here.
Hey, Krista, that's why you got a new camera.
Yes, technology.
That's it.
It's technology, Aquarius. It's also, Uranus vibrates at a 432 megahertz. It's a really high vibration.
That's a yummy vibration too.
Yes, it vibrates really high, Uranus. So anyway, so it's opposing Leo. Now, here's the thing with the two of them. Leo is all about the self. It's prideful. It's, it's a leader, but it's all about the self. In Aquarius, it's about all of us together. It's about unity. It's about groups. It's about, the collective. So what happens is that we're at a point right now in this moment where we have to sort of like lose the ego of the self and come together with the collective. To me, when I look at it, and this is my own interpretation of it, as I look at the energy of it, Aquarius being ruled by Uranus is about this soul level. Leo is an ego self level. So we have to sort of like lose the self in order to come together with others and in order to meet our soul. The only way we're going to do that is by letting the, lowering the voice of the ego, lowering that voice, and, allowing the other voice, the still voice inside, to be loud, right? So we're actually at a crossroad with this energy. We got to lose the self in order to gain the soul. So we got to lose everything that it has to do with the ego, material things. We're going to lose material things to gain spiritual things. So we're at a crossroad. We also have a grand square, and a grand square is literally when we're in a box. So we have the full moon in Leo squaring the lunar nodes. And that literally brings us to a crossroad. Which way are we going to go? Which God are we going to serve? Choose today whom he shall serve is a question that we have with this grand square. And again, we want to be a leader. The Leo is a leader, but you want to be a leader within a group. So you have to lose the self and gain your individuality within a group. So in other words, Leo may not want to be, it's the king of the jungle. It may not want to share the leadership with other people. But that's exactly what we have to do. We have to all allow the leader within us to emerge and then work together. So let's say the three of us, for example, you're a leader within your right. Krista's a leader within her right. I'm a leader within my right, coming together and just sharing our gifts, not being in competition with each other, not, trying to be ahead of either one of you. It doesn't work like that. It's just coming together and sharing what we have together with one common goal. And that goal is to raise each other up, right? Yes. You raise me, I raise you, right? So that's where we're at. So we have to lose the self and the ego. And that's that dynamic that we have going on with the opposition of, the sun in Aquarius and the moon in Leo. They're opposing each other, but one has to bend. And I feel that is the Leo self ego that has to bend to the higher soul to go, to be able to come to that soul level of unity and working together with others.
Nice.
That's what I wanted to talk about today. But then we also have the 5 energy, right? And the 5 energy, again, it's ruled by Mercury. It's also when 5 and 5 is 1, so it's the leader. Again, there. 5 is all about change and freedom, right? So we need to change in order to get achieve that freedom. We need to work together with other people. We need to be able to, not be afraid. It's also about, losing fear, not be afraid that we're not going to be almost like the way I see it with what I spoke about before. We need to not be afraid that I'm going to lose myself in this group with the 3 of us. Right.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Right. That I'm going to shine as well as the 2 of you. So it's that energy as well. I feel that a lot of people are afraid of change because they might lose themselves, or they're not sure what's going to happen in the future. But the only thing that's really certain is death and change, right? Right. Changes, and we have to lose the fear and just see what happens. And we have to trust one another. We have to sort of like support one another in this process, and so that energy is the same as that opposition and that grand cross that's happening. When we're in a box, we may not be able to see what's in the box, but we have to sort of like, allow ourselves to go with the flow of the progression of our lives. You know what I mean? It's bringing us somewhere. So we just have to allow that energy to flow and bring us where we need to be. But we need to choose. Again, which way am I going? Am I going to stay in that self-centeredness, that prideful place of the Leo energy, of the ego? Or am I going to allow myself, say, for example, with us, to flow with you guys and see where all 3 of us end up? And so I'm gonna lose my fear and see where we end up.
It's very exciting actually where we're headed, and there are going to be some huge changes coming. And as you were talking, Damaris, I'm like, think about it. I mean, like, really think about it for a second. All change is positive, right?
Yeah.
It may not feel like it in the moment, and it might be a little scary, but when you ride the wave and you let it do its thing, I mean, the bad parts you learn from, and then you realize after the fact, you look back and go, "Oh, I've stepped up. That was growing pains, but I've stepped up." So in the end, all change is positive. You just gotta go with it,
And also, when we think about material things that we try to possess, that all stays behind anyway. I'd rather lose all of that and gain spirituality and gain connection and gain, higher levels of consciousness, if you will, with that Uranus, right? Then hold on to anything material, whether it be a relationship, a job, or a house. You know what I mean? All that is going to stay anyway.
Yeah.
We don't take it with us when we cross. So whatever we think we're losing, we're not losing anything. We're actually gaining. Yeah. And so we all have to, that's a message for everybody. You're not losing anything. You're gaining. Holding on just keeps you back, sets you back. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes.
And if you're like me, it pretty much everything that you have tried to let go of in the past has claw marks all over it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's futile because change will happen.
Yes.
The universe will have its way.
You have been through a lot, Gayle, this year, but you're being called. It's a calling. So you have to let go what doesn't serve you anymore in order to step into that calling. And so although those things held you back and you needed to let them go, as painful as it was, because there's more that, is going to come into your life that's going to be more fulfilling,
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Awesome stuff. Oh my gosh. Krista, you got anything to pop in there with?
I'm going to just say something in terms of what Damaris just said is when you feel like you have to hang on to something with your claws, right? You're hanging on to it for dear life. It just isn't, there's no ease in that. There's no joy in that. And there's no flow in that.
No.
So if you ask yourself, and this isn't just a Gayle thing, this isn't just a Damaris, this is even a me thing. It's like if you're clawing at something to hang on to it, it never was meant to be yours.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that if you let it go and it's meant to be in your life, it's going to come back. It may show up. It may just show up around the corner. It may take a little while for it to flow back to you because you aren't ready at that given moment, but it will come back.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to come back too.
It doesn't. I'm like only if it's only if it's meant to be.
Yes.
Only if it's meant to be.
I put that in because it's like that's our last vestige of attachment, right? I'm letting you go so that you can come back. You'll be fine if they come back or not.
Or not.
That's right. Actually, you'll be better than fine if they don't come back. Because that means you've grown into something better. And, so don't worry about it.
There's a perfect affirmation I just want to share before you go on, Krista. The affirmation says something like, if it's mine, I will never lose it. And if it's not mine, I don't want it.
Right.
Because it's not going to make you happy. So if something is for you, it's going to find you again. If it's not meant for you, you shouldn't even want it because it won't bring you happiness.
That's right. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, ladies, let's hear a little bit about this crystal of the day because this is a pretty awesome piece.
It is. It is a Lapis Lazuli. And okay, so I got a new Lapis Lazuli bracelet. I don't know. It did. It's
I
coming
love
pretty.
it.
Isn't that really pretty?
Yes.
Retail therapy with Sue, Class Act Imports.
Beautiful.
Nice.
I don't know how many she has left. So, Mom, if you're in, she may not be. She's doing.
I haven't seen her yet.
Yeah, I think she's doing an errand for me. It's Kevin's Aunt Verna's 100th birthday.
Oh my
today.
gosh.
Whoa.
Happy birthday to Aunt Verna.
Yes, she's a centurion. And my parents are going to help Kevin's dad do a Zoom call with her.
Nice.
So, so that's where
Wow.
it just dawned on me. That's probably where Sue is.
Wow.
In any case, if you're interested,
when she was little, there was barely radio, and she's doing a Zoom call today.
Yes, she is. I will say that she has dementia, so she probably isn't going to think. She thinks of it as, oh, isn't that a great picture? It's all good. It's all good because we know what our intentions are.
Yes.
So in any case, I got this while I was home on my whirlwind tour, and it's been very exciting. I've been wearing it the last couple of days, and I love Lapis Lazuli. I've always been kind of drawn to it, but I'm drawn to those mega size pieces.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones that are really huge.
Beautiful.
Aren't they gorgeous? So
beautiful.
Lapis Lazuli is a ancient stone, and it is a sacred stone, and it is one that has been used by leaders, whether it's in religion or whether it's in royalty, whatever. Soldiers, high-ranking soldiers, would have them on their chest plates and in their shields, as well as garnet. But Lapis Lazuli has a phenomenal history and an amazing one. It is mined predominantly in Afghanistan. And if you ever want to learn about the trials and tribulations of mining, Lapis Lazuli's story in Afghanistan is quite a great one to go and look up. And because they only can mine for a very short period of time, and people's lives are lost while mining it.
Wow.
It's a very, very interesting in any case. However, what I want to share about Lapis Lazuli is two things. It is called a liar's stone, or the truth-telling stone. And it's a true story. My kids, I had a bigger Lapis Lazuli bracelet when the kids were little, and they went through a crystal class with one of my crystal mentors, Darlene. And they went through this because she would teach for kids, and I would encourage them to go learn from other people. And Darlene was telling them about this stone and the fact that it's known as a truth-telling stone, or a liar's stone. And so the kids, before they'd ever tell me something, they would look to see if I had on my lapis. And it was kind of amusing because I knew that that's what they were doing, because they were young.
Yeah.
It was relatively obvious. But it is a very sacred stone, and it is a powerful one because it ignites your intuition. The other cool thing, and the part that I love about it being this week with everything being direct, is that it's a feel-good stone. It is going to help you feel good. It is going to help you, feel yummy in all this energy, in the high vibrations that are going around with the planets. It's connected to, of course, I said the third eye. It's also connected to vision, our vision. So again, and I'm going to relate it here to us as the three Crones, because it is really important.
Wow.
What's happening with us as the three Crones. We're having a meeting tomorrow. Okay, I'm putting it out there. I'm sharing it. We have a meeting, the three of us, and we are going real. In other words, we are going to create the Three Crones and the Woo Woo podcast as an actual business so that we can actually start doing some of the things that we've been talking about that you guys are interested in us doing for more and, further for you. So having Lapis Lazuli help us as a vision stone is going to be amazing. We're going to be able to call upon it because not only is it going to help us with our clarity, it's going to help us tell our truth as individuals, which will then become our truth as the three of us as a partnership.
And as the entity itself, what it wants to become.
That's right.
Some clarity on that.
Because we are in a partnership. It's not going to be a 3-person partnership. Our vision is a 4-person, the fourth being Three Crones.
The woo-woo.
Yeah. It's own partner. That's the partner, the other one, the silent one. Not
so silent sometimes.
Yeah, we aren't all that silent, are we? So the other aspect, sorry, I'm now, Gayle, you've shared it with me.
Don't blame me, blame Mercury. Puttering back into place
shadows, though, Mercury.
Oh, it is. It's all good. So the other aspect that we all can glean from this right now is the fact that it helps us with honesty.
Yes.
And I'm not going to say it's the honesty of others. Here's the thing that you need to tap into, y'all. This is an inside job.
Yes.
You need to be honest with yourself.
Absolutely.
And that is probably the hardest thing that you will ever do is be honest with yourself. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to be honest about everything, all at, one given moment. But being honest, it will help you connect deeper into who you are, into what it is you desire, into what you want your future to be. And even just as simple as what you want your present to be. Are you one of those people? And I can be like this sometimes, and I don't know about y'all. So Kevin and I will go out, right? And he'll be like, so what would you like to drink? I'm going to go to the bar and get something. And I'm like, and sometimes I know exactly what I want. And I'll tell him, I'll be like, I want a Cosmopolitan. Or, oh, you know what? I just want club soda with lime. Or other times I'll just look at him, I'll be like, you know what? Surprise me. You know what I like. I'm cool with it. No worries. Because ultimately, for me, it isn't a huge deal. However, sometimes we can get lost in that. I'm giving away, you think of it as giving up so much power or too much power. So just be honest with yourself. Do you feel like you're giving power away by having somebody, surprise you with a drink or, a snack or dinner or whatever the case may be, or even picking a restaurant? And I'm picking very mundane things right now. With it being just the restaurant, maybe, it's something a little more serious in terms of, where you're going to live. Are you letting go of your voice? So that's that honesty part. You have to ask yourself, and Lapis Lazuli will help you. Are you giving your voice away? Are you giving your thoughts away? Or are you okay? And it's like, oh no, right now it's cool, but that you can still voice what it is that you want, what it is you need, what it is you desire. If with nobody else, start with you. Be honest with you about that.
Right.
Because
that's where
that is a lesson that I think that the older we become, I always think that the 20s, you spend a lot of time growing up. The 30s, you get lost in that family mode. And the 40s, it's like, oh, wait. Ooh, that's like the new 20. I'm learning more about myself.
Wiser than 20. Right?
And then you hit 50 and it's like, okay, now I just need to get real and be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And in the wise words of what Aunt Verna said, the last time I saw her, which was only a couple of weeks ago when we were stateside, she said, only believe half of what people tell you and only take half of that to heart.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
I thought that was very wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, very wise.
So I'm
Lapis
all
is a
set with
beautiful
Lapis.
stone.
Do you guys have any thoughts on Lapis?
Oh my gosh, I absolutely love Lapis. One thing that I want to distinguish for everybody is that Lapis looks a lot like sodalite, except for it's got pyrite or gold in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at a gem store, I mean, anything that you see from Sue and Retail Therapy with Sue and Classic Act, she will label it as, as lapis or sodalite or whatever. But when you go to your general crystal stores and you're looking at a piece, if it doesn't sparkle, it's not lapis. It's probably sodalite. And the more sparkle, the better.
Looking to see if I had sodalite just accessible, but I don't see any. That's what I'm doing. I don't have any. I'm still getting organized.
I used to have one of those stretchy bands like you just showed, of the lapis. And I wasn't necessarily aware of it being the liar's stone or the truth stone.
Yeah, it wasn't either.
But I can look back now and looking at the time period in my life that I was wearing it. I was very, very clear about whether somebody was not being completely honest with me. And a lot of times, depending on the person, you can't necessarily come face frontal with them and go, that's a lie, tell me the truth. And they're just going to skitter sideways, but you can say, oh, interesting. That's interesting. And let it go. And then just leave them with, do they believe me or not believe me? Excuse me. We're being invaded right now. And my Akita is pushing back the energy of the front door here.
No worries.
Jasmine, thank you.
He wants to put his 2 cents into everything.
Right? Yeah. She's like, there's humans approaching my domicile. Lapis, I love Lapis because it provides that clarity. It's got a little bit of sparkle to it. And I love that shade of blue as well.
Yes,
I do too. It's a great blue. And actually it makes my eyes look really blue when I wear it.
I see it as the starry night. That, because it's that, right? And
perfect way to describe it is the starry night. And it's a fabulous. So if you're somebody who is a Reiki practitioner, I'm just gonna it's a wonderful one to have that. And labradorite, when you're doing sessions with your clients, because they're so powerful and they work well together. Because they, really help a person connect to the healing completely, and everything. You don't have to have it on them. I see my ultimate vision one day is to have a huge piece that I can put under the table or in the space near my client. I don't have that at the moment, but that's okay. It's coming. I feel it getting closer. Just hasn't, appeared yet.
Yet. It will. It definitely will. Yeah. Hopefully it won't be too big to weigh down the turtle dome.
Yes. Yeah. So our friends just got they're down in Australia. They got a new rig to haul their turtle, if you will. And it's huge. It's this huge truck. And I said to my friend, I'm like, see, now you don't have to worry about weight at all.
Nice.
I'm like, ooh, maybe that's what we need, Kev. I can see that. Lots of space for crystals.
Oh my gosh, imagine.
I love it.
You'll be flying.
I love it.
With the energy.
Woo! Who's gonna need diesel? We're just gonna go on crystal energy, mate.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah, she's gonna find a way to not solar power, but mineral power
Yes.
The RV. Now we're cooking with gas.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All
right,
so
my
Gayle,
ladies.
you're up.
Let's talk a little bit about today's card of the day, which I love it.
All right, let's see.
10 of Pentacles. Ooh, this is such an absolutely great card for today, especially considering that we set the date for tomorrow's meeting today, and we're going to be having that meeting tomorrow. And so the message from this card today, oh, sorry, I'm shedding. From Galaxy Tarot, which is the app that I use to pull this card of the week each week. Today, chances you're feeling like you have everything you need. That's one of my affirmations. Whenever I look at things like shampoo, even, right? If I've got more shampoo, but it's getting low, right? And I'm thinking to myself, I need to buy more shampoo. But right now I have everything I need and more. Right. And redirecting that lack thought into I have everything I need and more in this moment. I have everything I need and more. Yes. So today, chances are you're feeling like you have everything you need, maybe everything you want. If your Valentine's Day went well for you, give thanks for the gifts and experiences of your ancestors or the vast body of knowledge created by the masters in your vocation. This is the legacy that's brought you to where you are now. You are taking your place in this lineage. How do you want to be remembered? Oh, and that just keys right back to what Damaris is saying about that choice, right? Who are you serving right now? Which master are you going to serve? Make that choice. How do you want to be remembered? And as that person that you want to step into, what would that person do? Right? Yeah. Absolutely. So it's a great card today. Okay. Now we're going to get into, I got so much to share with you. Oh my gosh.
Integrity.
Okay. So today's talk is about integrity is being loyal to yourself. All right. Now I want to preface this with telling you a little story that happened yesterday. Because, I don't want to get into the details of my personal life, but you all know that I separated from Bill. I moved up to Michigan in October. It's been a difficult year since last February with him. And I did spend some time with somebody after I got up here, and that crashed and burned. So Valentine's Day, this is the first Valentine's Day that I have been without a mate in decades, right? And I've been doing a little bit of DoorDash for some extra funds, trying to save up to get out into my own place. And my daughter and my son-in-law is out of town right now, traveling for work. So my daughter and her son, my grandson, did their traditional thing of buying the heart-shaped pizza and getting on their little red heart jammies and watching movies and snuggling together. And just before I left, my daughter's like, "Are you driving tonight?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Well, you could stay here and hang out with us and have heart-shaped pizza." And I'm like, I really kind of want to stay away from Valentine's Day as much as possible today, And my voice kind of cracked, like I was going to cry. And that was a very strange moment for me, because up until that point, all day I had been like, I'm okay with feeling sad, that I'm fine. It was kind of on the border of numb rather than sad. So that kind of struck me as odd. And then my daughter's like, "Yeah, when my son-in-law gets back this weekend, we want to sit down and have like a milestones meeting. How where are you at, and how can we?" And there was no detail. Man, I went, "The principal wants to see you," in a heartbeat. I was like, for the next 5 minutes straight, my brain was just rifling through all of the things that I could possibly be in trouble for, and all of the things that I'm doing wrong. And I finally, I was like on the road, and I texted her, and I'm like, "What do we need to talk about? Because I went down this bad path, And I had to explain to her what, the principal's office trigger is. Most of you understand that. I don't know if they do that anymore, but it doesn't matter if it's a principal or a boss or anything like that. When somebody says we need to talk later and there's no details about what you need to talk about, many people will go into that self-searching, why am I in trouble mode, right? And she's like, oh no, I'm sorry that I did that to you. And I'm like, okay, please tell me that, because right now, all of a sudden, I was just feeling like nothing I did was good enough. Nobody wants me. And even after she reassured me, and I'm doing my deliveries and stuff like that, it didn't get much better. And I'm driving from house to house and quite a few alcohol deliveries to single ladies and, just a couple of, food orders that look like it might be a romantic evening for two. I finally texted my younger daughter and I'm like, well, how did your Valentine's Day go? And she's like, blah, blah, blah. It's always a roller coaster for her. And I'm like, well, I am just so lonely. I'm so lonely. And I'm just like completely triggered with how nobody wants me. And I feel this energy like when I was a younger kid and moving around in foster care. And, there was nothing that I could do to stop from being shoved off to the next depot, so to speak. And I'm just bawling. I had to stop driving and I'm just like, oh my God. And then I was like, damn it. I thought I was better than this. I've been fine. Right. And then a few minutes later, I'm like, damn it. I have been fine. What the fuck is going on? What is going on here? And I finally had the intuition, the awareness to ask, is this mine? And I heard, no. You've just been to 15 people's houses that are spending Valentine's Day alone. You've picked up a whole bunch of shit to process for me.
Isn't that crazy, right? How we pick up, when we're an empath, we pick up on everything.
Oh yeah.
You had the wisdom to recognize that it wasn't yours.
Exactly. Exactly. So in that moment, I got to choose. I returned to sender all that did not belong to me with consciousness attached. And then I put my bubble up, my glittery porous bubble that lets the love in and lets things flow. But at the same time, doesn't allow anything to glom on that doesn't frickin' belong to me.
That's right.
And so
you've done the work. You've done
there
a
you
lot
go.
of work.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why it was like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
So I wanted to share that in leading into this integrity is being loyal to yourself. Because when we have made agreements with ourselves, right? And we get those moments where, it may be ours, it may be something that's come into our space from, the path that we've crossed or whatever. In any of those moments, I mean, oh my God, the ache and the loneliness I felt, it would have been really, really easy to go back on my agreement that I have with myself to stay out of relationships going forward, right? For the next year at least. In fact, there's moments when I'm just like, give me a vibrator. I don't need this shit. Right. So having integrity, right, is staying loyal to those agreements that you have with yourself because you made those agreements for your own self-care, for your own highest good. And use your procrastination as a superpower. For the next 5 minutes, I'm not going to text that person that I decided doesn't need to be part of my life anymore. For the next 5 minutes, I'm not going to pick up the phone. I'm going to go read something else. For the next 5, and you know what? Those 5 minutes add up until all of a sudden it's bedtime and you wake up feeling bright and cheerful the next day because you've finished processing that work in your dreams where it's safer to deal with those things than in the real world, right?
Yeah.
So I encourage you all this week, right? Use the lapis. Get clarity about what, the honesty that Krista was talking about, right? Get clear about what the truth is, and the truth being whatever it may be for you individually, right? And honoring that, making your agreements with yourself for your highest good, for your self-care, putting yourself as the priority. Like Damaris talked about with the number 5, that 5 is all about change. And when we double that 5, we get back to 1, your leadership in your own life, living your life as an example. My mother used to say, you can live your life as an example or as a warning. You choose. Okay.
Wow, I like that. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. So double up that change, embrace that change. Change is always positive, no matter how it feels in the interim, right? Yeah. Because when you can get through those dark nights of the souls, whether it's of your own processing work, getting stuff up and out that would have you compromise yourself for a small bit of solace in the moment, right? God, how I just wanted to be held by somebody that loved me, right? But doing so would open up a whole can of worms that I had already fucking sealed. Okay.
And I hope you burned that can and buried the ashes.
No, I've got it under a magnifying glass out in the sunlight right now.
It's so funny you think that, because in any moment that we're going down that spiraling down emotional, you can choose at that moment, who am I serving in this moment? Am I going to serve this devil, if you will, or am I going to serve God or your soul or your ego?
Right. And there's that defining space too, right? Because there is that difference between your inner self, capital S self, right? And your ego, right? Arrogance is not self-respect.
No.
It's just not. Pride is not necessarily self-respect, right?
No.
Being prideful. There's nothing wrong with self-esteem and having pride in what you do, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But when you've got to, like Leo explode that on others, right? That's arrogance. Yes. That's actually a sign that there's something missing in the self-esteem. And it's not a good thing to sometimes receive validation from others. But when that's the only place that you're getting your validation is from others, honey, you got some inner work to do.
I love that. And you're absolutely right, Gayle. Yes.
So that was my Valentine's Day, my week. And for all of you out there that had spent Valentine's Day alone, it's not because you're not worthy. It's not because you're not wanted. It's not because you're not lovable. It's only because you are the person that should be loving yourself the most.
And sometimes self-preservation is so important. Preserve, you know what I mean? Sometimes being around a lot of people or the wrong person is actually not good.
Yeah, they're excuse me. I hate to call them energy vampires, right? Because
they are.
There's a couple of different thoughts on that, but here's the fact, right? Regardless of whether they are feeding off of your energy, like they are doing it to you, no, you are allowing it. You are putting the plate in front of them.
Yes.
Take the plate away.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
That is great. Yeah, no, very
and that's integrity with yourself. Taking responsibility. What am I allowing in my life? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. If they are not giving you what you deserve, if they are not providing satisfaction in a lot of different ways, not just the obvious ones, right? If they are not partnering with you in a way that makes you feel positive about yourself, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
Yeah.
Get out of there. Because in the long run, it costs you more than you could ever imagine. And the rebuilding work that goes into that restoration of yourself, capital S self, it takes some effort, right?
Yeah. And quite honestly, time is of the essence. We get set back when we take on these energies that are gonna, sort of like bring us back into spaces that we have already, moved from. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We're not responsible for other people's healing, only our own.
Right. And sometimes the most loving answer is no.
Yes.
Both to yourself and to the other person, because no sets that boundary where it's like, okay, I've fed you enough. Now you're a glutton. Get the hell out of my face.
100%.
Okay. And that no gives them on that other side of that boundary a wake-up call and the ability to start looking within themselves for that energy and going to source for that energy that they've been diverting from you.
Or find another leech that they can.
No, I don't wish that on anybody else. No, they need to start looking at themselves, and they need to start going to source. Yeah, they need to start going
to mirror so they can see what it is that they're doing, and ultimately, if they're not ready to look in the mirror at that time, it's not your job. It's not your job. All you do is it's like, okay, I have the mirror up, and bye. I'm moving on.
Nice.
Out to do something else. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yes.
I'm sorry. When I'm talking, I never get a chance to actually do the comments, but thank you guys so much for your supportive stuff down there. Love the power of procrastination as a superpower.
Yeah, I like that too. Who would have thought that that's a superpower, right?
Oh yeah. I can delay all kinds of stuff. Use it to your advantage.
Yes. I love it.
So fantastic, everybody. And oh God, I love you guys too so much. We will have long before next Valentine's Day, you will have the support and surrounding of the Coven of Joy. Definitely. So you will never, ever have to feel lonely on Valentine's Day again.
Beautiful.
Awesome stuff. All right. So we want to say thank you. Oh, wait. I can't say thank you yet. We have a winner to announce.
Yes.
Okay.
Yay! Winner, chicken dinner. Congratulations this week to Tracy Beckwith. Congrats, Tracy. You are a multi-time winner. So we know that you know the role, what you need to do next. But for everybody else who might be watching this for the first time and would like to get in on our weekly woo-woo giveaway, all you have to do is share this broadcast, like it, and make a comment. Happy faces are good. And you will be entered into a drawing for which you will get a reading from one of us three crones. Now, in Krista's case, over here, there, Krista's case, it's a crystal reading. Those are really awesome stuff. And then in Damaris's case, it's an tarot reading or a numerology reading. Yes. And in my case, it's an intuitive tarot reading or an EFT tapping session. And I have an EFT tapping session coming up for one of our past week's winners tomorrow. So I'm looking really, really forward to that. I'm very excited about that one. So Tracy, you know what to do. Thank you so much for being such a huge support for Three Crones and the Woo Woo. And I am really, really excited to see who you get to pick this time. Awesome. All right. Any last words before we thank our contributors and sponsors, ladies?
Nothing for me, but, other than, tap into that honesty with yourself. I think what Gayle has said and the fact that Damaris has pointed out that the planetary alignment is just really working with us, not against us. Not that it ever really is. It's just that perception. This is a free time. Sit and be honest with yourself, so then you can be honest with those around you. because honesty is the best policy.
Always.
You know what?
Yes.
What it can be wicked fun too.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, honesty can be really fun.
Yes. Yes.
And
yes.
my message would be to lose the ego self to gain the universal unity with other souls that are in alignment with you.
Absolutely love that. Thank you.
Love that.
All right. So thank you to our sponsors and contributors. We have Miss Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing with Krista. That can be found on Facebook. Damaris Samolinski with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski. And yours truly, Gayle Nicholson with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. Once again, from all of us at Three Crones in the Woo Woo, thank you so very much for being part of the show and being here with us live, watching us on replay, sharing this with your friends. Thank you. Thank you for your support. I'm glad you're along for the ride in the Coven of Joy. Just wait to see what we've got coming for you.
Can't wait. So exciting. Thank you.
Can't wait. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.